hashtag Millennium Probs News. Submitted by Please Bring Back Megan Hart. Me?
Yeah, that's an actual submission.
You didn't just write that?
No, I did. I swear.
When people meet us out there, these fans out there, they go, I've heard in both occasions, when you gonna have Megan back? Or when you gonna have Anthony back? We like that. I always hear
Same person.
We like pay them right afterwards.
because they don't say that about all of our guests. I tell you that. And that's why some of them don't come back, because they're too busy for us and we really want them back, but they just don't want us to.
No, that's not true.
I'm not busy enough.
A millionaire thinks millennials can't afford houses because they eat too much avocado toast.
That's true.
What the fuck?
What is the relation
I
there?
love avocado toast.
So do I.
What the fuck?
He's all eating it right now. I'm offended.
Avocado toast is bomb though.
So good
I
though.
used to talk shit. Look at this fucking picturesque hipster ass bullshit, right? My girlfriend orders one. I take a bite and I'm like,
I wouldn't pay for it.
What's avocado toast?
oh.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Avocado, salt, done.
Do you
if you want
smash
salt.
it?
Yeah, and like lemon, olive oil. Sometimes you can put an egg on it.
Lemon and
It's
salt on
bomb.
avocado
Yeah.
is super bomb.
And if you want protein, put a poached egg on that motherfucker.
Yes! Yes!
Over a poached egg.
I never want to say that. Definitely not over a poached egg.
But like actually poached eggs are pretty hard to make, so when you get it right, yes!
Yes.
Yeah.
And that yolk just breaks and shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that went far. I like it.
He like sucked.
Oh, you need to try it, because I get it at Zinc. And at the first time, I was like, what is this? I know, caterpillar. Sir, you can add a poached egg.
Zink is vegetarian, right?
Yeah, but they have eggs. They have eggs. Well, it's vegetarian, right? So vegetarian has egg?
Yeah.
Vegetarian as egg.
On this Australian news show called 60 Minutes, there is this Australian millionaire and property mogul named him.
Not muggle.
Australian millionaires are pretty obnoxious, though. They're pretty fucking. I got in a fight with one. He thought he was fucking like the shit. Yeah.
So when he was asked the question about being able to afford like houses, like millennials being able to afford houses, it's difficult. And so for him, he agrees with that statement, and he was just saying, you know, when I was trying to buy my first home, I wasn't buying smashed avocados for $19 and 4 coffees for $4 each. We're at a point now where the expectations of younger people are very, very high. They want to eat out every day, they want to travel to Europe every year. The people that own homes today work very hard for it and saved every dollar, did everything they could to get up to the property investment ladder. So a lot of people blew his statement out of proportion, saying like avocados are the actual reason why millennials can't save.
So stupid.
But like that was just his example of like, well, I mean, here's an example why millennials can't save is because they want to spend. They just spend money. They want to eat out.
Absolutely true.
I think people know that though. You know, like I'm pretty sure people aren't like eating out all the time going, why don't I have a house? It's because this is the lifestyle I enjoy, so it's hard to, I'd rather have the convenience of eating out, but I also know I'm not gonna buy a house soon because of that. Like I think people know that.
And at the same time, you can't assume that everyone sees a house as an investment.
Some people don't want to buy a house.
Because they might not, for them and the way they do their taxes and want to live their life, like it might not even be an investment at all.
I don't know what it's like in Australia land, but out here in Los Angeles land, the real estate market is like unbelievable. You fucking get out of college, start working and all that stuff. And even if you get married within the first 5 years or within the first 10 years, it's gonna be very, very expensive to buy a home. So most people are like, fuck it, let's just be minimal. Let's just live in the city, get like a small little area, like place, rent that out in a gentrified ass neighborhood. And then, you know, just live life on a bicycle and be a hipster.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, based off of even just like supply, land was a lot more prevalent a generation ago, and on top of that, like, there was probably a lot more opportunity to buy a house. Whereas nowadays, like, for example, what is it, Hong Kong, I believe, is like one of the most densely populated places in the world, and they have like over 3 million people that live above like the 14th floor, right? I saw in that Netflix documentary, In and Out or whatever, Inside Out. So it's like, we live in a generation where there's overpopulation in all metropolitan areas. so it's impossible, like you said, it's impossible to buy a house unless
You're rich.
you're super rich, which is already a growing rift between like the super rich versus like the regular 98%.
Most people in LA are spending over half of their paycheck on rent or mortgage or whatever it is. And it's like, why? Like, I don't know, like for the next 30 years, you're gonna be spending this, living paycheck to paycheck. Like most people are like, fuck that life. I'd rather just rent, not have to deal with it, you know, have other people take care of the fucking plumbing and all that stuff. Have a little bit more spending money.
Yeah, now it's more common to even have housemates. Like it's not looked down upon to have a roommate when you're like, you know, late 20s, early 30s. Everyone else like, cool, I get it. Like, you know, like 30s and you 20 or whatever.
I feel like this, like the whole social pressure too is different. Where like back in the day, it's kind of like you had to kind of, after you get married, you got to buy a house. That's a thing you got to do, you and your wife or whatever. It's true. But I don't know if that's really the shit now. Like if I know someone is married but they're renting, I don't go, really, you're doing that? Well, you can't come to the country club.
Do you think that thought comes from because of just our industry and we're surrounded by so many like-minded people?
I mean, I even know people who like my older friends that don't work in entertainment and all that stuff, like they're trying to save money and they're still living with their parents or combining forces with them or whatever. And they're in their 30s. So I feel like, I mean, if you really think about it, right, a decent home out here is gonna cost you in the range of $600,000 to $800,000, and if it's a really nice neighborhood, it's closer to $1 million.
Yeah. And the house is not even that good.
For a regular ass house.
Yeah.
It's a house that's built in the 40s to 60s, and it's got a shit ton of issues.
One bathroom.
Yeah, and it's small ass rooms, whatever, and it's close to $1 million, and it's like, that's no place. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
Even in the hood, like my parents' home is in East LA, and it's so hood, but their property is going for $1 million, and I'm like, who the fuck would pay? I would never pay that for this area.
And people draw their own free throw line with the spray paint can.
It's that type of
That's how hood it
neighborhood.
is. Yeah. Throwing weed in bushes, like, it's a bad neighborhood.
Plus, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this generation, or millennials, if you will, like there's a little bit more of a YOLO mentality to life.
Yeah.
Right? You see it in pop culture, in the music. You see it in like this kind of like, maybe we live in like the generation of Armageddon, or you don't really think about like future. You kind of feel like YOLO, right? So you just do what you can while you can. And I'm not saying like that's the best way to go about it. I just feel like that's like a lot of what this generation is like.
And it's also a generation of when they were in school deciding what they were going to do after school, there were no jobs, so it's a generation of create what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, yeah, like if you're an entrepreneur or you're forced to be an entrepreneur, then the last thing you're thinking of is getting married, buying a house, having kids, because you're like, I'm trying to pursue these passions. So, because I remember like I was right at the cusp of going into corporate America, and then when the market crashed. So I remember that whole transition where people are like, fuck, I don't know, I have a degree, I'm highly qualified, but there's no jobs for me. So then it's like, well, we gotta create our own lemonade stand. So I think we also have to take that into account.
There's a lot of entrepreneurial people in the millennial peoples.
Almost everybody.
Yeah, so many.
But I think everything has changed, even the past like 10 years. Like, our jobs weren't jobs. Like, all of us right now, they didn't exist back then. And even now, like, I don't think that we want to have the same lives as our parents did. Like, I thought I was gonna get married at 23. When I was younger. Yeah, when I was in high school, I was like, oh, my mom got married this age, she had kids by 25. Like, I'm not gonna get married until I'm like 30 something. I don't want kids until I'm like 36. Like, everyone I feel like that's around me is the same way too. There's no like.
That's so true.
So I'm gonna eat my fucking avocado.
So,
with the poached egg.
Yes.
Yes.
So Tim was saying that, you know, the dream of owning your own home is still possible, but this generation needs to cut back on unnecessary spending.
Oh, absolutely.
And poor lifestyle choices.
It just depends on what your values are.
It depends on what your values is.
Some people will want to eat out every day, or they want to try some new shit every day. That's what's important to them. Let them do that.
Yeah, and who's to say that they're not saving up for that? They might have a eat out every day account.
Right.
There was this like super crazy, I don't know if he was an investment banker or some kind of super successful guy, and then he decided like he just wanted to continue surfing in Brazil, so he just up and left, and he lives like right on.
Oh,
the
with
beach.
his family, right?
Yeah, and
after he like made like 12 million or something like that, he was just
yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, he's set, so he can do it comfortably. But then that's what gives him happiness. It's just that surfing every day, and that fool's like 70 years old, but he's ripped and buff. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you value. Like there's this other guy who was a stockbroker or whatever, but now he works with not Martha Stewart. What's her name? The Indian.
Mindy Kaling?
No, Mama Teresa's. Mother Teresa's? Yeah. Not Martha. Yeah. Mother Teresa has like these different institutes, right? Where it's like there's the last place where people go when they have like leprosy and they're dying and there's just really no hope for these people. It's fucked up. But he goes there and he has a lot of joy in just taking care of people. And he doesn't need income. Like I don't know if he went there set. Like all he does is just takes care of people, and he wants to like be that person before they're dying. And I'm just like, damn. So really, it just depends, like who's to say that you have to fit the mold? I don't give a fuck.
Here's a picture of Tim.
From this angle, he looks like Justin Timberlake, but
The Australian millionaire.
/ Neil Patrick Harris.
He looks
from How I Met Your
young.
Mother.
like together, a hybrid. Oh yeah, for sure.
He looks young.
Neil Patrick Timberlake.
Yeah.
So wait, is he a millennial talking about millennials?
He is a millionaire. He's 35 years old.
Oh my God, he's so young.
At the end of the day, all he's talking about is self-discipline, because there's a lot of people out there who dream of having a dream home, but they have no discipline to get there because they just can't control what they do every
And
day.
he's probably just super exposed to a lot of those people.
Yeah,
within
so
his
he's
circle.
probably just saying like, y'all buy too much avocado toast because like you talk about your dreams but you don't fucking follow them. Exactly. So maybe that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But at the end, it just sounds like he's making fun of people for not being rich. But I don't think that's the case.
Thanks for watching Just Kidding News, guys. Don't forget to comment down below. We want to hear what you say, only if it's positive. Remember that. To watch more videos, go up here, baby.